Hello, my friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever you are in this world. Welcome to the Entrepreneur Accelerator podcast. This is your host, Reem, talking to you from Khubar, Saudi Arabia, the other side of the world. Welcoming you to the show. If you're new to the show, thank you for tuning in. This podcast is for you to help you, to inspire you to launch and grow your business, where I speak with influencers, top leaders in the industry, and share with you all the strategies, tips, and tricks that will help you take immediately and implement to achieve success in your life and in your business. First of all, the weather here is getting amazing. It's really amazing. Usually in Saudi Arabia, it's either extremely, extremely hot or extremely cold. It's in the desert, you know what I mean? So the weather is just too harsh. And these days, it's becoming so cool. The weather is like 24 Celsius, and you can just go walk outside. There's no humidity. It's just beautiful. So it's the best time for you to go out, to walk your dog, to do some activities outside. This is something that I personally miss so much. So I don't know, whatever you are, I hope that the weather is good so that you can do some activities outside. I know that it's good for your body, for your soul, for your mind. And if you get the chance to do some jogging, or if you're doing your morning routine, you're working out, or you're walking, you're running, or you're walking your dog, and you got the chance to listen to this episode, thank you so much, because this episode is going to be amazing. It's going to be different because my guest today, Alex S. Elliot, she's an amazing entrepreneur. I love her. I follow her for a year now because the success that she had was a true inspiration. She showed us all how to start in front of our eyes, how to start from zero to over 6, 7 figures in just 1 year. So the launches that she has done were just amazing. She partnered with also top influencers in the industry. She started with the One Group Away Challenge, and now she is transitioning, or she's moving to another adventure, let's say, and we're going to talk more about it. But most importantly, this episode is not going to be about digital marketing or groups, how to grow groups, or organic marketing. It's totally different. This episode is going to be merely about her 10 rules of freedom. And I remember I read that post where she spoke about her 10 rules of freedom, and literally it stuck in my mind. I felt that this should be taught to everyone, because when we start in the entrepreneurship world, we all think that we are doing this and we're going to be free, financially free, our time, we're controlling our time, and we think that we have achieved the freedom until you realize that you hit a wall and you realize that there are so many things that makes you sink inside your business, where you feel that you're trapped. This is not the freedom that I was looking for. And then you need to find like another plan to help yourself get out of this and gain control over your life again. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about the 10 rules of freedom, things that you are going to take immediately and implement, and you're going to see huge change in your life and in your business. So if you like this episode, please grab a screenshot, share it on Instagram, tag me at reem.kharbat, Kharbat, so that I can see it and give you a shout out or a hello. It will mean a lot to me that we spread the message to the world. And also, if you want to take it to the next level and you want to join me in my community of elite entrepreneurs, of high-level achievers, join me on Facebook in the Entrepreneur Accelerator Lab. It's a free community where we gather together to help and support each other. I give free trainings every week about 7-figure launch strategies that you can take immediately and implement. We also do cool meetups every week so that we can learn, build relationships, and we can support and help each other on a personal and deeper level. So without further ado, let's go ahead and listen to this amazing episode with the amazing Alex Elliot. Hope that you enjoy it.
The Entrepreneur Accelerator Podcast presents marketing, strategy, leadership and mindset. All that you need to accelerate your business and amplify your success. Now on air with your host, Reem Harbat.
Well, hello, guys. Welcome back to a new episode of the Entrepreneur Accelerator podcast. This is Reem. Super excited for this episode. I've been waiting for this for quite some time. I think it's been 2 months. I'm really excited because not that I'm now surrounding myself with I call them my tribe, with the people that I love and respect. As I said before, having this podcast gave me an opportunity to seriously be closer to very successful people, to people who I would really want to be physically surrounded with. And I seize each and every opportunity to be around those people. And one of those very few people that I've been following for quite some time now, who really inspired me, someone who's so close to me. I feel that we have so much in common as well, on a personal level, on a business level as well. And I feel that what she's doing is so close to my heart. Maybe you don't know that, but it's true. And I feel so happy whenever she posts or says something, because it represents me. Maybe you don't know that, but
Beautiful.
let me tell you guys, I'm super excited to welcome Alex S. Elliot in the Entrepreneur Accelerator. Finally, Alex, just in case, if you don't know her, she's an email copy and monetizing expert. She's the creator of the email marketing agency, Profit Finder, and the upcoming Practically Passive Income course and coaching program. She's the creator of, originally, this is where I knew her, from the One Group Away Challenge and the Organic Sales Machine. She has been featured on summits alongside Russell Brunson, John Lee Dumas, Mike Filsaime, Jim Edwards, Perry Marshall, Elena, Cardone, Alex Charfen, Kathryn Jones, and Blake Nubar, and much more. Alex helps successful but overwhelmed online entrepreneurs take back their time and their lives by helping them build practically passive income machines with back-end email marketing that converts. She generated over $500,000 organically just in the past 1 year. As she says, she is a 14-year overnight success. And I'm super honored to have you here with me. Alex, thank you so much. Super excited for you to be here in the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to be here, Reem. It's been, like you said, we had some scheduling difficulties, so we've waited 2 months for this interview. I am very excited. We're going to make it great. This is going to be wonderful. I'm excited.
Thank you. That's awesome. You know what? And I feel that it's good because now you're back from your vacation. There are new plans, new things. And I feel
that's it. Ready to go. Yep.
Like an insider, like a firsthand, what do you call it? Like, just to know what's
insider scoop. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. To know what's happening with you. How was it first? How was your wife, and how was the time that you were spending?
Oh my gosh, it was incredible. So because we're all right, we're in COVID, the whole thing. We've been in lockdown, and we actually have a unique situation. We live with my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law has some pretty severe lung issues and lung chronic illness and things like that. So obviously she's at a pretty high risk. So we have, it was funny, before we went on vacation, I said to my wife, I'm like, I think I can count on like maybe between two hands the number of times I've actually been outside of the house, like since March. I mean, it's crazy. So we were very careful. My wife was the only one going out doing the shopping. Like, it was just very intense, right, for a long time. Finally, we both said, we're like, no more. We have to go on vacation. We have to do something. Like, I'm going nuts. So we went on vacation for almost 2 weeks to the mountains, very remote in North Carolina. And it was fantastic. We saw a black bear, like right by our cabin. Like, it was very remote, very amazing. And we're refreshed. Everybody's happy, and yeah, ready to start this new venture. So it was cool.
Awesome. I'm glad that you had some fun. I was watching and I saw your pictures and I was like, oh my God, please. Like, I need this, especially now, you know, I'm in Saudi Arabia. It's a desert. Okay. Not like that.
Right.
I mean, it's like, there's no landscapes and stuff, the green thing. Like, this is the bonsai is like the greenest thing that I have. So just seeing that and being in the lockdown for a long time, yeah, I totally understand. But Alex, again, we were talking before the show, we have so much in common as, you know, coming from this, let's say, humble background, reaching to a level where we felt that that's it, and we can't take it anymore. Like things are not working, things are not moving, and the last $1,000 in the bank. I want people to know the story from you. What, where did Alex come from, and how did you reach where you are in today?
So it's like you said, the big joke is I'm an overnight success, 14 years in the making, meaning, you know, for 14 years I tried, and now we're now on the 15th. Thankfully we're here. But I mean, I remember I'm 45 years old. When I turned 30, I remember distinctly, it was like this click happened inside of me. And, you know, maybe it was the famed quarter life crisis or whatever. You know, it was like this moment where I was like, there has to be more. There has to be more than what I was doing at the time. And at the time, I actually had my own business. I think I've always had this entrepreneurial bent. I had my own business. I was actually living in Germany at the time. I was selling bikes. I had a bike shop. I was selling bikes online, importing bikes from all the English speaking countries, selling them inside of Germany, doing my thing. And I just thought, there's got to be more than this. I've got to be able to make an impact, you know, like it felt so small scale for me. Yeah. It didn't feel like I could reach enough people. And so I went on this very circuitous route to online success that took me through years and years of failure, years and years of trying, of failing, of thankfully failing forward, right? Mm-hmm. So whatever lessons I learned from the first venture kind of went into the next one. And it was like, okay, what mistakes did I make that I want to avoid? And just continually iterating. You know, I've had multiple e-com shops, Shopify stores, did Amazon FBA for a while, had my own supplement line. Like, I mean, I just did all sorts of things trying to figure out where was my home? Where was my home online? What was I meant to do? And I think we can all kind of identify with that as we iterate and become and try to figure out our way and learn all the things that we need to learn. So that, you know, fast forward till last year, so 2019 February, I had made a series of decisions financially with one of my businesses that turned out to be, they really backfire. And I ended up owning a whole lot of inventory and was very cash poor. So sitting on a ton of inventory, no cash. And we got to a situation where we didn't even have the money to market the inventory. It was that bad. And we'd burned through our credit, all the things. And so it was literally, we got down to our last $1,000 in the bank. All the credit cards were maxed. I had rated my 401k, which is like here in the States, it's like a retirement thing. I mean, it was gone. I had no money, none. And unfortunately, at that very time, you know, tragedy kind of strikes in multiples. And my mom got into a very severe accident and it ended up, you know, her femur was shattered. Like all these terrible things happened. She broke her hand, all this stuff, ended up requiring like 24/7 care. And I had been a nurse for a couple of years, so I got volunteered. I was the family nurse. Like, wow. So we ended up having to give up on that business, just take the loss, eat it, and take care of my mom full time. She didn't really have the funds to pay us. So we ended up very quickly in a situation where we were not able to pay our rent, not able to sustain that business, and ended up having to move in with my mother just for a roof over our heads and figure out like what was our next move. And it was a terrifying time. It's a terrifying time to have to, you know, we went from a very nice apartment, nice everything, to like everything gone. We are living with my mom on a mattress in her spare bedroom in her office, and we have nothing to our name, and we have her as a responsibility 24/7. And so it was like, how in the world do we manage this? How do we rebuild? And so my wife and I just kind of one day looked at each other. She was like, I've got her. You have to have us. You've got to figure this out. Like, make it happen. And so with the very limited funds that we did about $1 left. I made the decision. I came across the One Funnel Away Challenge from ClickFunnels, Russell Brunson, and something in the marketing and the messaging, I was researching it. I was like reading blog posts from Chris Fong about it. Like I was, it was a lot. It was 1/10 of what I had. So it was a lot of money to me at the time to spend $100 on this challenge. It felt like so much money. And I was like, something about it just called to me in a way that I can't really explain. And I just decided to invest, and I decided to do it. And I decided, this is it. Like, I don't have a choice. This is it. It has to work. I'll kill myself trying. Like, it has to work. So, and I look back at that period of my life and I call that the blessing of desperation, because I was profoundly desperate for that to work. And so dove right in. And I'm not kidding when I say I probably slept 4 hours a night, sometimes 2 to 3 hours a night for maybe 6 months, 7 months, just trying to build an online business, build an online presence, build products to sell, build all the marketing around it, the messaging around it, build an audience, as well as, manage my mom, take her to therapy appointments, to doctor's appointments. She had to have multiple surgeries. Like, it was a wild and crazy time. And I started my company that is now, I started that brand from that crappy little bedroom. And, I had to make sure that the laptop camera like never panned down, because I was standing right above where the mattress was on the floor, and there was a cat litter box and like everything. It wasn't even a desk. I just had the laptop up on a bunch of boxes. I mean, that's where I started doing my lives from. And I just started doing everything Russell was telling me to do. And it was like, this just has to work. And I remember being adamant before that time, I'm not going to be a public figure. Invasion of privacy, blah, blah, blah. Like, I did not want that. I did not want to be a persona. I didn't want to be a public person. And so I had a lot of resistance. And it's funny how your resistance melts when you're hungry. It's funny how you'll do whatever it takes when you're hungry. And I had to get hungry enough to fight hard enough to make this work. So that's where we were last year, 2019, February. And here we are now. We're in 2020. It's funny. You were reading the intro. It needs to be updated. We've almost done $1 million in 18 months. It's from starting from nothing. It's just been really powerful.
Yeah, I know, yes, because I saw your launch with Michael, and I think you did just 6 figures in just one launch, right? We did.
It was like 2.5 day cart open. It was 6 figures. Yes. It was not. Yeah.
Yes. So true. The thing is, this is, your story is really mind blowing. It makes me think of every single thing that you said, because again, the problem here in the online market now these days, that the expectation, as we were talking, the expectation is just unreal. People think that, seriously, that it's just an overnight, because you are in the online business. It has to be free. It has to be easy. And people get just easily frustrated that they're not successful. They're not putting even the effort. And I try hard to explain to people that whether it's online or offline, building a business is the same.
It's the same.
It's the same effort, investment, sweat, tears, and you have to burn bridges just to make it work.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, if you right now want to go out and get a Starbucks franchise, you'll be in the red for 3 to 5 years. You will not even break even for 3 to 5 years when you consider franchising fees and all the different, just inventory, all of that. So to expect anything different just because you're in a magical little laptop box is fantasy land. And I think there's a bit of a cancer on our industry, really. And that cancer is this whole idea that it's easy, make money by Tuesday, blah, blah, blah. Just watch a few YouTube videos and you'll be a bajillionaire, right? Like that, I think that whole like Lambro culture is slowly but surely, hopefully, dying and being replaced by something a little bit more ethical and a little bit more realistic. And I think that if people take, I always say to coaching clients and things like that, it's like, this is not a hard game. What's hard is your expectations about it.
Yeah.
You think it should be done by next week. You think it should be done by next month. This may be a 3-month project. This may be a 6-month project. You may not have it done by then, and that's okay. You're building that foundation so that for years it stands, right? And I think that what ends up happening is our expectations are what handicap us in this game.
Yeah. And building a business, Alex, is, again, there are so many aspects to it. So, for example, you need to learn marketing, you need to know your numbers, the finances, you need to know how to manage your team when you expand, or even from the beginning, you need to have team people to be with you, to support you. So maybe you had your wife supporting you all the time, but then you also added people, and that's what I witnessed, even the evolution of your journey, how you added people and how you dragged yourself away, you pulled yourself away from being all the day online, running your business. And this is what I also try to tell people, that you don't want to be run by your business, you want to run your business. And I want you, if you still remember the post that you wrote or you shared about your freedom rules.
My 10 freedom rules. Yeah, absolutely.
Can you tell us a little bit about it? Because it is exactly like, literally, it's do you call it a manifesto or something that people should
just be? It's interesting. It could be. It's funny that you say this. I'm actually going to pull these rules up because I won't remember them off the top of my head.
I have them in front of me. Do you want me to read it to you?
Would you? That would even be easier. Read them to me, and let's talk about them a little bit, because those rules have really shaped and continue to shape what I do, what I don't do. I've had some excellent coaches through the past year and a half, and I really have to give them credit. Liz Benny and Andrew Cruzy have both really helped me build bumpers in my life, build non-negotiables in my life, so that my business can function, that I can work on my business, not always in my business. So,
awesome. So I want to read those, because seriously, guys, these rules are something that I've been, maybe I lost a lot of money because of such rules, because I wanted to be, like, when I say freedom, financial freedom, or even freedom, I'm seeking the freedom to be closer to my family, to my child, to create the memories with my husband and my child, and live the life that I really want, and not just be there like 24 hours, just, building a business. Even if I have to lose a ton of money because of this, there should be some rules in your life that you should not compromise with. And Alex's rules, it's called the 10 freedom rules, and I want to read it for her. Maybe you can explain it to us a little bit.
Absolutely,
Alex.
I'll break it down. Yeah.
So rule number 1, you always start your day with pretty off the wall but highly specific and customized morning routine to set up your success.
So this is something I have to give a lot of credit to Liz Benny to. She really worked with me on building a morning routine, and like the importance of a morning routine, and being very, very dedicated to that. My business doesn't run without me. And if I'm not at optimal, if I'm not performing optimally, like, nothing good comes of it. Nothing good happens. If I don't sleep well the night before, if I don't, meditate or journal or do my visualization or like all the different things. So I have this entire process where I go through, like, I take, for lack of a better word, I take care of me in all the ways: spiritually, mentally, intellectually. I read, I journal, work out, like all the different things. I drink like a greens juice, just all these crazy things to get myself into optimum form. And then we start the day. That's when the day starts. So, you end up going to bed earlier so that you can get up early to do these things, make sure you have time to do them. And then what ends up happening, it's Parkinson's law. Parkinson's law is one of my favorite laws. It is, work expands or contracts to fill the container you give it, right? So if you've got something you need to do that day, whether you give that project 8 hours or 4 hours, you get it done. You'll get it done. And so what needs to happen is make sure you give it a reasonable time frame without being too long. And so I tend to give myself reasonable time frames without letting them extend eternally out just until 3 a.m, right? Like I said, so I give them very tight containers, and you get it done. You end up being able to focus.
And all of that is because of having a good morning routine, which is I'm working on, by the way. I have a good night routine, but for me,
yeah, whatever works for me. It's got to be more. I'm very much a morning person, and it sets the tone. And the rest of the day, I'm in a zone and I'm ready to go.
Love it, love it, love it. Rule number 2: no social media or news till evening time.
Yeah.
You don't watch your phone when you wake up, the very first
thing in the morning. Yeah. I've actually had to remove Twitter, my DMs, Facebook, everything from my phone, because I had trouble keeping that rule myself. So I had to physically, and this is very much public knowledge, doesn't matter. I am a recovering drug addict. So I have been clean for 23 years now, I believe. 23, 24 years. Awesome. And so I learned very quickly in my recovery that I couldn't always rely on my own willpower. It's not enough. And so what ends up happening is, if you can architect environments of sobriety, that helps you when willpower wanes, right? So I began for myself to architect environments of productivity, environments of, so it's not just environments of sobriety, it's environments of productivity, it's environments of peace, right? For meditating, like going inside of a dark closet to meditate. That's architecting an environment of peace, right? I'm not able to be disturbed. So by architecting, when I want to write, I have to turn off Wi-Fi to my computer so that I cannot access the internet, so that I can simply
distraction.
Yeah. So really, I've taken from my sobriety this incredible lesson of architecting environments for your desired outcome. And so that's been a really powerful thing for me in terms of, saying to myself, you have to understand the place that social media and news take. It's not going to serve me. It's not going to feed me in terms of what I'm looking to accomplish, right? If it doesn't feed and serve my goals, then it comes last, period.
Wow. Do you know, I think I told you that I wrote that in one of the comments on that post, which is, you have to teach those 10 rules. It should be turned into a program, because I'm sure that there are a lot of people who truly need that. You might have a lot of ideas, thousands of ideas. You might be really a creative person, you have it inside you, but sometimes you just, due to the distraction and due to, it happens with me sometimes. I feel like I get easily distracted by things around me, and I see 2 hours pass without knowing.
And you're like, what just happened?
Yeah, exactly. So
entrepreneurs are creative people, and we are easily distractible. We're very squirrel. We're a mess. And so knowing that is half the battle, right?
Yeah.
Knowing that and saying, okay, that's me. I get it. I'm wired that way. It just is what it is. Welcome to the human race. And then architect for it, engineer for it. I'd really engineer a situation where that is it's no longer possible to be a liability.
Yeah.
You've taken that liability away in so much as you've architected around it and against it.
Love it. So rule number 3. So let's continue. I like this.
I love it. This is fun.
Rule number 3, craft all Facebook posts for your profile and groups in Google Documents and not on Facebook itself, because obviously it's a distraction.
So for me, the game each day is, how little time can I spend on Facebook? And you have to understand something. You have to understand the context of that game. The context of that game is, I built my business on Facebook, around Facebook, leveraging Facebook. I spent 14 hours a day, 7 days a week on Facebook in the beginning. And so that does something to a person. You get to a point where you're like, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. Right. So I got to this point where I was like, first I just started, outsourcing parts of the engagement and parts of things to my team. And then the content creation would still be mine, and I would end up creating it on Facebook. And what do you know, the little notifications would come up, the messenger would go, all the things, right? And somebody needs help, this is that, the other. And then I find myself doing the things that I've delegated out. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm like, So I've just made a rule and decided I craft everything off of Facebook, inside of Google Docs. I even add the emojis in the space, like everything. And then the game is, how quickly can I copy it, run to Facebook, or send it to my team to post it, and then get out. Like, it's like a sniper, just get in, get out. And maybe there'll come a point later in the day. Usually there does come a point later in the day where, you know, again, it's during my 15 minutes, I'll engage back, and I'll, you know, comment, or I'll whatever, or I'll have a VA. Sometimes my VA engages. It just depends what type of content it is. If it's just like a quote, or if it's just something silly, like my VA will do it. If it's like a really long content piece, like something I posted yesterday regarding moving to Spain, that's a little bit more, I'll handle that.
Personally, yeah, exactly. We'll talk about this because especially that you were teaching with the One Group Away challenge, like how to build a group and how to create and to create this engagement in a group. By the way, I've been postponing creating a group for almost a year now, and today, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, I set up my group, and I'm still thinking, wait, because I really don't want to be on Facebook my whole day, and I know it takes a lot of work, and at the same time I want the group or the community, I don't want to even call it a group, like the community, to be around like people who really want to help and support each other to grow their business together. Okay. And it's like, I respect your time, I want you to respect my time, I don't want to be on Facebook all the time. I want to help you because I feel that it's a disservice if I don't help you. I have a lot of knowledge, for example, to share, but I don't want to be online all the time. So you said it that you give yourself 15 minutes a day to engage with the important thing that, for example, the posts that are important, but you outsource other things to other people. And this is something that I also believe that entrepreneurs, they need to understand, is that building a business, even if it's online, you need to create a team and to outsource things. You don't have to be there. Just do what you do best and leave everything else for others. We'll talk about this, but let me go to rule number 4, which is move all business related conversations from Messenger to either Box or WhatsApp or email as quickly as humanly possible.
Yeah, I find that Messenger, because Messenger lives inside of the ecosystem of Facebook, it's just highly, highly distracting, right? It's the nature of where it's embedded. It's embedded in a highly distracting platform. So take that conversation. So I be like, hey, on WhatsApp, or continue it over via email, or whatever is the most appropriate channel. Some conversations I got on Marco Polo. It just depends. But my aim is to, as quickly as possible, if we're going to have to continue this conversation, let's continue it elsewhere, because the distracting quotient of Facebook is so high that again, as little time, the game is spend as little time on Facebook as possible. So I'm not trying to be stuck in the web of Facebook as any longer than I do.
Yeah, and also rule number 5, it's similar or close or linked to rule number 4, which is also you access your DM via Messenger in messenger.com and not through Facebook. So it's all related to the same thing.
Yeah, it is. And I'll tell you, we've got something in my business which is really helpful. So, and we've tested this, having a VA in my inbox versus having my wife in my inbox. My wife is she's right here next to me, so it's easier for her to ask me questions about who to respond to and how and all this different stuff. So my wife runs my inbox. If there's something she knows how to respond to, she'll just deal with it and respond. If not, she puts it in Asana. We have a recurring Asana tab for me, and she will just copy paste the message in Asana. I can respond in Asana, and then she goes in and copies and pastes it, or pastes it back into Messenger and sends. Again, the goal is keep me off of Facebook. So it's very helpful to have team members protecting you from yourself and protecting you from distracting platforms.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so number 6, batch schedule group content and have a VA follow up and engage. Oh, okay, we're talking about this. And batch create profile content and post like a sniper. Drop and run, engage only during 15 minutes. Yeah.
I want to come back to something you said. You said you wanted to start your group, but you were afraid to have to spend all day on Facebook. I'm going to tell you, when I first started my group, that's exactly what happened. I was spending all day on Facebook. And did it yield positive momentum? Yes, it did. Does it mean that that's the only way to grow Facebook? No. So I think that what you can be really, really smart about growing a Facebook group. What I would suggest, just anybody who, for yourself or anybody who's interested, go ahead, before you ever open your doors, a few things should happen. You should obviously have all your artwork done, your group description done, your welcome post that's pinned, maybe a little welcome video. You should have some what I would call like signature content pieces inside of your unit section. And maybe your unit section, your first unit is just like, hey, welcome, so glad you're here. This is what we're all about. And you've got some kind of like content structure or something like that, where you're talking a little bit about the things that you teach. And then maybe you've got some testimonials or maybe whatever. And then there's a call to action to maybe check out one of your funnels, check out one of your offers, check out your challenge, check out your workshop, whatever it is, or book a call with you. So you've just got all of that filled out. Then you're going to want to make sure you've got a couple of content pieces like in the thread of your group, and make sure that that's filled out so that people can engage. And then go on a 2-week invitation spree and just, invite people very selectively, curate people, almost like you curate content. You want to curate people who would be a great fit for that community. Maybe they're a great fit for the community because they'll be like a founding member. They'll be a really great contributor. Maybe they're great for that community because they're a dream customer of yours. Like you would love to work with them. Maybe they're a dream 100 of yours, right? So you're going to curate different kinds of members, and in your messaging to them, you can say, hey, I'm really interested in you being a part of this community because I see you as, a thought leader. I would love your contribution on this, around this subject, etc. Or, hey, you are like, you're absolutely like the kind of customer I'd love to work with, I think you'd be really well served by my content and community. Come on in, right? So really just inviting people and setting the frame for them. You bring them in. As long as you have a VA who's doing all the welcoming, you're creating content off platform. It's a myth that you have to post every single day in your group. You do not. If you wanted to post maybe 3 times a week, just make sure the content is solid. It's good, helpful, solid content, right? As long as you're posting 3 times a week, good, helpful, solid content, your VA can go in and like drop an inspirational quote or thing, welcome people, or hey, it's Trouble Tuesday, or it's, promo Friday, or whatever it is, and just give people a place to connect and support and all that stuff. I don't spend, truthfully, I don't spend more than 10 minutes a day in my group, and some days it's 0 minutes. I don't spend any time at all in my group anymore. We just have a system. There's SOPs and there's a system and it runs. But again, we went from 14 hours a day to sometimes no minutes a day.
Sure.
Like it was a process. We didn't get there overnight, but there are ways to do this to positively remove you from the equation, and or add you in as you wish, right? If you wanted to have a show once a week, every Monday at 11 a.m. we do a show, and you can do that. Or you can every Thursday night interview someone different. You can do that. It's like, it's your game. There's no way that you have to play it that says you've got to live in there.
Yeah. Love it. Thank you. That was really valuable because
you're welcome.
Seriously, like I've been preventing myself from taking this step because I really don't want to be, and I'm respecting my time and I respect other people's time. And I see a lot of my friends jumping from one group to the other, and it's becoming boring. So it's like, you have to be in a very selective, like your group, for example, is one of the very few groups that I really follow, because I know that what you're sharing in there is something that it clicks with me. It's something that I would love to, like, you're someone that I respect. I would love to listen to, and I feel that I'm connected with you in some way. So I feel that this is what I want to be for others, but I don't want to be like their mother.
No. You don't want to run an adult baby, daycare center. That's
Exactly.
not what you want.
Absolutely.
But you train people how to be, and you if you expect engagement from them, you've got to elicit that engagement. You've got
Sure.
to ask for it. You've got to, I frequently will come across people say they're like, I post 10 times a day in my group and nobody engages. And I said, are you asking for engagement?
Mm.
Are you asking them to comment? Are you inviting them to? Are you asking them what they think, or are you just talking at them? If you're just talking and you're not actually asking, well, of course they're not engaging, right? They haven't been cued. You've got to cue them to engage. So that's a big thing. And when you do that, you end up cultivating a culture of engagement, which ends up, my groups are 85% self-engaged, and then my VAs do the rest, and I do about 1% of the rest. So
Wow.
it's easy.
Do you allow the group members to post in your group?
I do. So I've tested different things. For a long time, I did not allow them to post, meaning they would post, but then it would have to be screened by a moderator. Mm. And then I decided, screw it. Let's just see what happens. Let's let them post. And for the most part, I would say 85% of the time, that was fine. You got your occasional spam post. Once COVID hit and people just were home and had more time on their hands, and I don't know why people lost their jobs. It got a little crazy with the spam, so we shut that off, and we now have it such that people can post, but it's got to be approved. And I'm quite happy with it that way, because we do get a lot of spam. I mean, and I've talked to many group owners that the spam has just gotten out of control. I think look, let's be honest, we're in a situation where millions of people have lost their job. Sure. Millions of people are desperate to make money. And so in that desperation, sometimes they're making decisions that they may not otherwise would have made in terms of their promotions. And so they end up spamming groups and, things like that.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. Alex, let's just continue the last three.
Rock and roll, sister, rock and roll.
Yeah. Okay, so rule number 8, batch draft daily emails once a week and schedule.
Yeah. So this goes back to, I'm a big believer in batch drafting content, meaning, I might take an entire Sunday and write all of my emails for the week, write all of my posts for the week, just get all of my content creation done, because then what happens? I only have to be clever once. I don't have to be clever every day, right? Yeah, what if I wake up and I'm on a Wednesday and I'm just not feeling it, right? I'm just I just don't feel clever. I've got nothing to say. But if I can make myself a cup of coffee on a Sunday morning and go, okay, I've got 3 hours and I'm going to get all my content done for the week. Done. Sweet. Easy. That's something I can vibe with. I put on my binaural beats. I got my cup of coffee. I got my headphones on. I'm in. I'm just doing it. I'm banging it out. And before you know it, I don't even know that the 3 hours have gone by and I'm done. I'm like, oh, that was amazing. So that's an easier ask for me, just in how I work, than, God, I have to come up with something every single day. It's only having to be clever once, right? So I find that batch creation of content has always been a great approach for me. I'm not sure that everybody works that way, but I've found that that's been very valuable for me.
Awesome. Okay. Rule number 9, selectively ignore.
This is a really controversial one. Selective ignorance. It's something I learned from, there's a couple of people I learned it from Ryan Holiday, from Greg McKeown in a book he wrote called Essentialism, not Existential, it's Essentialism. Great book. Oh my God. If you guys haven't read Essentialism by Greg McKeown, it's Greg and then McKeown, I believe, McKeown. I might be spelling that wrong, but it's called Essentialism. It's basically, the premise of the book is, there are only a very small number of things that are actually vital, that are actually essential. Everything else is urgent but not important, right? And so the game is to figure out what is vital and give that all of your attention. Everything else, whatever attention remains, can be spread out, everything else, but most everything can be ignored. That's really, particularly now in modern life, you know, we are bombarded by the urgent but unimportant, right? And what ends up happening is it's somebody else's agenda is what, you know, you're being, you know, every notification ding that you get on Facebook, every email you get, every communication, Slack message, etc. It's 9 times out of 10 somebody else's agenda. It's not actually serving your goals. And so, you know, we end up basically being dancing monkeys for other people all day long, right? And not, sorry, you got the cat. This is what happens when you work from home.
So cute.
So, you know, to actually do any work that is of consequence and that is of meaning and that it serves your goals and serves your tribe and serves your people, you have got to practice the art of selectively ignoring. Meaning, if someone sends me an email and it is not an email I have invited in any way, it is not an email that is giving me the opportunity to serve my stated goals, then I am under no obligation to respond. Same with DMs, same with comments, same with any type of pull on your attention or time or whatever. Because, you know, what I did not practice this in the beginning of my business. And what ended up suffering was my relationships, my health, my time, my well-being. You know, I'd be staying up late responding to DMs to complete strangers who are asking for help when, you know, I had promised my wife that I was going to have movie night and I totally flaked on her, right? Like that's not okay. So you have to get clear about what your priorities and goals are, and then protect those at all costs. And so that's selectively ignoring. And it's controversial because a lot of people are like, well, who do you think you are? And that's not what it's about. It's not about, I'm not anybody. I'm not, it has nothing to do with it. It has to do with protecting one's goals at all costs.
Love it. This is really, really important. I really love how you put it in that context. And it's really inspiring. You know, I'm really happy because most of your interviews are about growing the group and organic.
This is fun. I like this. This is fun because
this one for me it's very important. We can talk about growing groups later on.
Yes.
But this one is really like, this is amazing because again, I feel that this is like the fundamentals of building a true freedom or having true freedom in your life and in your business and how to build. And especially you said it from someone who like failed during 14 years, or I don't want to say failed, but like learned during the past 14 years how to become successful. That was through a lot of work, learning a lot and figuring out what is best and what does work for you. And this would help others also accelerate their success, because that's why the theme of the show is the Entrepreneur Accelerator. I'm trying to find strategies.
Shortcut the learning curve.
I don't believe too much in shortcuts, because this will make people think that things are always should be easy and you know, just give me the shortcut. I don't want to spend too much time figuring things, but you need to put effort, you need to learn. But at the same time, if there's something that we can help you with, some strategies, some tricks that worked out for some successful entrepreneurs, then we can share it with them.
To help you make smart decisions. Yeah.
Absolutely. Rule number 10, guys. Mornings are for money later tasks.
Mornings are for money later tasks. Exactly. So one of my email copywriting mentors that I love and have learned a ton from, his name is Ian Stanley, and he's got what's called the money morning triangle. And I'm drawing this triangle out for you guys. The money morning triangle basically is this. You want to be spending, and I'm going to get the percentages wrong, but that's okay. So you want to be spending, there's 3 types of money. There's money now, there's maintenance money, and there's money later. Maintenance money, we'll start with the middle one. Maintenance money is you've already been paid this money for some kind of project that you're completing now. So it's a deliverable. Let's say you have clients, they've paid you a monthly retainer and you're writing emails for them. For example, that's what I'm doing now. So I've got some clients on retainer. We're writing daily emails. That's maintenance money, right? I've got to do those tasks. That's got to happen, but it's not the first thing I do. Then there's money now tasks. Money now tasks are any task that I'm going to do that's going to make me money today or for the next, inside of the next 30 days. So any task that maybe that's taking sales calls because I can close that and I get money now, right? So there's maintenance money, money I'm being paid for things I'm doing right now. Then there's money now, which is anything in the next 0 to 30 days. And then there's money later tasks. Any task that I'm doing, and traditionally for me, it's building out a course, building out a funnel, building out some email sequences for my business, etc. It's building the machine. Those are money later tasks. Money later tasks are any task that's going to bring me money, starting 30 days from now up until 90 days, a year from now, whatever it is, right? So those are my empire building tasks. Mornings are for empire building. So the first, once I've done my morning routine, that first hour is, what am I doing to build my own business? What am I doing to build the machine, to build the assets that are going to generate money for me in an ongoing way for a very long time? After I've focused on my money later tasks, then I go into my money now tasks, right? I want to make sure the pipeline's filling up and things are happening. And maybe it's taking sales calls. Maybe it's traffic generation for a funnel, right? Maybe it's doing a podcast interview because I know that's going to bring me traffic. That's a money now task if that podcast interview is going to happen in the next 30 days. And then, and only then, I would move into my money management or my maintenance money tasks, which is whatever I need to do to fulfill an obligations for which I have been paid. So that's how you prioritize.
Love it. So you did, it's like you leave the creativity or the money later, which is in the morning, because it needs more creativity from you.
It requires more creativity. It's building, right? Absolutely. I mean, money later tasks are absolutely building tasks. And then your money now tasks are frequently promotion, marketing, sales tasks, right? Because you're pulling in that money for like the very near future. And then your maintenance money task is just doing the thing you've been hired to do, right? Whether it's coaching, whether it's fulfilling on client work, emails, design, copywriting, whatever the thing is.
Love it. Alex, that was I really did not expect it to go this way, but this is amazing. Seriously, I feel that we can get a lot of things to help and teach people with just only those 10 rules.
Awesome.
I already have a lot of things that I should do myself. And awesome. I want to ask about your future projects. So now you used to have, or your group was just about growing organic marketing and growing groups organically. And now you're moving into a new venture, new thing, which is I'm super excited for because
thank you.
This is where we can work together. So
this is fun. Yeah.
A little bit about it.
Sure. So we are moving into a phase in our business where we're going to be focusing, and we've already started working with clients on this, really focusing on email copywriting. And because I'm just deeply in love with copywriting. I love copywriting more than is normal, I think. But I love copywriting. I really love email copywriting, and I'll tell you why. It's a sales letter in 300 to 500 words. It's really tight. It's really intense. And you have to hit all the right notes, but you have to do it succinctly, and you have to do it in a sustained way. It's this sustained relationship. It's this incredible medium. And, when I think about the people, the gurus that I follow, right? When their name shows up in my inbox, I'm thrilled. I mean, I cannot open the email fast enough, right? Mm-hmm. It's funny because, you study email copywriting and it's all about the subject line and getting them to open. But what about if we made the subject lines completely irrelevant? What if they just saw your name and they were excited to open the email? Yeah. And it could say goo goo gaga in the subject line. It doesn't even matter, right? That's the kind of game I want to play with email marketing. I want to really help people attain this deep relational status with their tribes and their audiences and their list. And learn how to leverage email marketing as the incredible storytelling medium that it is, the incredible sales medium that it is, just the relationship building medium that it is. So I'm excited. We're working with a handful of clients right now, doing daily emails for them, writing out, building out their automated sales machine, right? Email allows you to have this incredible automated sales machine on the back end. And it fascinates me. Everybody focuses on front end, lead acquisition. Nobody's focusing on maximizing, lifetime value of those leads. And that's what we're doing. We're focusing on that lifetime value maximization. I don't want businesses just to earn $1 a month per subscriber on their list. I want them earning $20 a month per subscriber per list, right? And there's ways to do that. There's ways to, leverage personalization and segmentation and all kinds of different, fun levers that you can pull basically to really maximize profit on the back end from your list while you build a profound relationship with them and build fans for life. So that's what we're doing, and it's super exciting.
And Alex, is it going to be like, are you going to help just, for example, is it an agency you're going to help one-on-one, or you're going to teach people how to do it?
A little bit of everything. So right now we are doing agency work. Part of the reason is we wanted to get our hands dirty. We wanted to work with clients one-on-one. We wanted to really understand, like, what are their needs? What are their frustrations? I needed to understand my market and my customer. So we're getting really deep with a couple of clients. You probably know some of their names, and this is fantastic because they're helping us build what we're going to be building later, right? They are the guinea pigs for our methodology, and they're the guinea pigs for, the ways in which we're going to be teaching later. But we have, I just sketched out an entire schedule of workshops. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of live workshops. Teaching people how, literally, like, hey, come and write your welcome sequence with us in an afternoon, right? And we're going to do a live workshop where we give you one of our templates, and we're going to walk through filling it out. So by the time you leave our workshop, you'll have your welcome sequence done, right? And similar things like that, an indoctrination sequence, a re-engagement sequence, a card abandonment sequence. So I want to do a whole bunch of live workshops because I think that, A, I just love teaching. B, I really love that live engagement. C, I want people to feel empowered. I want them to walk away with an asset that's going to work on their behalf 24/7, 365. And they're going to walk away and they're going to be like, I got something done. This wasn't just another like fluffy rah-rah webinar. This was an actual, like, I got something done in my business. I built an asset. So we're going to have a whole ton of asset building workshops for people who want to set up their emails. We are going to be doing a big signature course for email marketing, teaching people to create what we're calling a practically passive income business. And that's a business where literally you are primarily focused on, let's say, 3 things. Number 1, the traffic part of the business, pulling in the traffic, building your list, then nurturing that list, selling to that list, rinse and repeat. And we'll just teach you how to create that business. And that's really a lifestyle business. I mean, that's give yourself 2 hours a day. Once you've got the machine set up, it'll take you 2 hours a day, and you'll be able to live a very nice life.
I'm super excited. I'm super excited for this, and I'm waiting for you, honestly.
We're working on it. We're working on it. Right now, we're in the client phase.
Tell me, and get your name. Get my name right now, immediately.
You got it, girl.
And because I'm telling you, like, you are one of the people, the very few people who I read your emails, every single email. I enjoy reading them.
Powerful. That means
no, seriously. So I feel like, yeah, I need to learn that. I need really to learn that. And even if I'm not going to maybe use it myself, because again, I'm trying so hard, just focus on what I know best and just delegate other things. But I feel that I still need to learn the art of communicating with other people, especially that English is not my first language, and copywriting is also, in general, is just important, because maybe it's not just about writing a post or an email. Like, it makes you even think. There's some sort of psychology in it.
There's a ton of psychology in it. And honestly, good copywriters are great salespeople.
Yes.
Because they have a structure for presenting the information in a way that hypnotizes their prospects towards a sale, right? So very powerful stuff.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for this amazing episode. It's like, honestly, it's one of my favorite. And I can't thank you enough for being here, especially that you just came back from your vacation. And I think you needed some time from the vacation. So
That happens.
and thank you so much, Alex. And you guys, for you, if you want to know more about all the updates of Alex and what she's doing, go to her group, which is now, it's called Profit Finders.
Profit Finders. You can literally just look it up, Profit Finders. You'll probably find it with my big smiley face on there. Yeah, come join us. You know, we're a group we've got everybody from, you know, complete beginners to 8-figure marketers and everything in between. And it's probably, I like to boast, it's one of the most supportive groups on the internet. Everybody is so kind and caring and loving and knowledgeable and willing to share of themselves and be supportive. So, and then very shortly, as we get, I was telling Reem off the air, we're redoing all of our websites, redoing all the funnels, like everything, memberships, everything's being redone. So once all of that is coming online, you'll be seeing a lot from us in terms of email copywriting, email marketing, email deliverability, all things automated sales machines on the back end. So that's what we'll be doing.
Love it, Alex. Alex S. Elliot, thank you so much. All the love from Saudi Arabia to whatever you are, to you and to your beautiful wife. Thank you so much for being on my show. It was an honor. Thank you one more time. And I'll speak to you very soon.
You will. Thank you. Appreciate it.